everyone is follow up on velocity chart, right? Um,
Mm.
um, and
What is
also the
velocity chart?
velocity means how much
And
work is
what are the key metrics that you use as a Scrum Master?
okay.
Okay, as per you, what are the key skills that is required?
Okay. As a Scrum
No right
Master,
answer, there is no wrong answer. Every answer is correct. Every answer is, if you are able to justify with the answer
Hello
as
viewers,
well.
welcome back to today's video of Career Advice. So today we have again a special guest with us who has done a special podcast with us last time and gave a brief about what is a Scrum Master and how you can pursue a Scrum Master role. And what is a Scrum Master and how you can pursue a Scrum Master role as well. So in today's session, today's podcast, he has given a complete view of how a Scrum Master role will be pursued and how you can exactly get into a Scrum Master role. In the sense that how you can crack an interview as a Scrum Master. So please do watch the video completely till the end. If you have any doubt, you can do a back and forth. So it will give you a lot of insights from an interviewer perspective, from an perspective how to crack an interview in whichever organization. So this will give you immensely lot of details, viewers. Do watch till the end and let me know if you have any queries, any doubts on it. I can do a one-on-one session if you want to have a mock interview with Suvendu, and he can give you literally a lot of insights, lot of details, and lot of valuable suggestions for you to crack the interviews as well. So do watch till the end, and I'm waiting for your comments, guys. Let's start. Thank you.
So hello viewers, welcome back to another exciting episode of Career Advice. So today we have our same old enthusiast guest who in the last episode, who has not seen the podcast with Suvendu last episode, he has given a very brief idea about Scrum Master and a detailed insights around it. So today I welcome Suvendu to channel to our channel Career Advice, and in today's podcast we will go one step ahead. It means that we will know Scrum Master from the perspective of an interviewer, how someone who is aware or who wants to pursue the career of Scrum Master, how they can clear the interview, the first gateway to get into the Scrum world. Suvendu, welcome to Career Advice.
thanks, Kajendra, for again inviting me for this channel. So I'm excited to share my knowledge with the viewers. Thank you.
Yeah, we are also excited to hear. We are also excited to get a lot of insights from you. I know you have a deep expertise in Scrum Master and you are doing quite an interesting role in your current job. So now before we get into deep diving into Scrum Master, can you give a perspective of how someone can pursue the Scrum Master role and how to uh, mm, what kind of calls they will get and where they will apply for the jobs, etc.
Okay. So if I'll be come to the okay, today's discussion purely on how someone going to be crack the interview or what the process should be he follow. Okay, he or she should be follow. So if I'll be going to say anyone is interested for the Scrum Master role, so first they should go through the job description because currently in if you go to the any opening, any job description for the Scrum Master, is not only only for the position of the Scrum Master. It could be there is some technical or something will be added there. Some companies will be come to the JD of any company's job roles for the Scrum Master. Someone is asking for you should have knowledge of uh, cloud computing. It should have the knowledge of uh, DevOps, or you should have some knowledge of particularly they will mention you have the knowledge of AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, anything. So some currently the Scrum Master job is a add-on job with some other job also. So it's not independently as a Scrum Master will be there. Because what in the subsequent year, what the companies are feeling like that. For example, you are a Scrum Master for some particular project, and they are using SAP. For example, I'm saying SAP. They are using SAP. So if you don't have the knowledge of SAP, naturally you are not able to gather the requirement from the product owner, or you are not able to appropriately, you are not able to help the team in the right way. Maybe you're going to be only help the team in the aspect of agile process, whether they are follow the agile process or not. But in the requirement gathering, you are not able to actually you are not contributing more and more in particular field. So nowadays companies are more looking on some technical aspect or the functional aspect from the Scrum Master role. So first you need to be check the job description details, and in that way you need to be update your CV or resume, and it's going to be applied. You can for applying the role you can follow any website, the directly the career or the Naukri, or any portals. There is a lot of portals and the job portals are there. You need to follow on that. So that is up to you. So yeah.
Uh, so you said that the Scrum Master is nowadays more specific to SAP, Scrum Master for uh, AWS Cloud, Scrum Master for the full stack.
Yes.
It's like that.
Yeah. Currently, it will be like more some other add-on job you should have. It's not like a independent. You are a Scrum Master, or you are a project manager Scrum Master, or you are a BA and as a Scrum Master like that. So it's not a single job. Or independent kind of this is not an independent kind of job nowadays.
Okay, it's not an independent kind of job anymore. So to our viewers, those who are aspiring to be Scrum Master, do make a note of it. You have to have some kind of core knowledge as well, including Scrum Master, right? That's why I think last episode you said that it is not a freshers
Correct,
job. It
correct,
is for those who are having experience, right?
correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good perspective. So now uh, going to one step ahead. So can you brief about, like, I know you are working in Infi and you're handling a very good portfolio and Scrum Master. So, and your responsibilities in Infi, current organization, and uh, what are your roles that you play as a Scrum Master?
So if any interviewer asks you, or like you are asking me, what is the role and responsibility your current project and all this stuff. So the interviewer is actually interested to know whether actually you are working with this agile project or not, or whether you are for train your team on you are follow the agile process or Scrum process or not, and what is the if it is a hybrid process, what the way you are actually follow your team or your way of working in your team. So these are the things the interviewer actually interested to know from your answer. So they can able to judge whether you are the right person for their team or not. So these are the questions that's why they are asking. So if, for example, if you are asking like you are asking me, what is your role and responsibility for your team? So everyone, I mean, yes, I am working as a Scrum Master in my team, and I have a pure follower of Scrum or Agile processes in my team. Currently, I'm working both. I mean, simultaneously, I'm handling both two different teams, not only one team, because nowadays the companies are providing you two different roles also. So, because in my first project is going to be go live, fully go live. So I'm managing that team, and another team is the new project. So I'm that is new project means currently the requirements are very starting stage. Okay, so pre-matches stage because as you know in agile projects nothing is fixed. Okay, it may be changes in the subsequent time. So currently the requirement gathering and all the setups, everything is currently in the new phase. Okay. So that I'm saying I'm currently working with the both the team. And another thing the interview is expected from you, how many people you are actually handling. So how many people are under with you in that particular project. So if you'll go to the theoretical way of approach in Scrum, So it will be saying around 10 to 12 people should be with your team. Okay. Or 10 people should be there, including the product owner and scrum master. Okay. So you can say 8 people, developer and the tester. If you'll say the developer should be 8 and other things, scrum master and product owner will be there. Okay. So it should be 10 or 12 maximum. But in the real time scenario, if I'll become to the big projects in hybrid model of Scrum or the Agile, so more than 12 people are working in a team. Okay, because the product manager is not in the theoretical prospect of the Scrum. The product man, there is no role of sorry, project manager or the business analyst like these positions. Okay, so or a SME is there is no role of SME in that particular team. So, or if you come to the Safe Agile also framework, so there is also no scope of SME there. So it will be a add-on thing. Okay. So in that way, the interviewer is actually interested to know in which type of project you are there and how big is team and how complex that project is. So they try to understand from that aspect of the question. Yeah.
So when you say how complex the project is, what is the complexity? Is there any metric to define it, or how
Uh,
it's
okay.
caused?
So okay, the complexity, the interviewer is not able to ask you. If I ask, if I say my experience till now, the interviewer is not asking you how complex your project is, but yes, they can able to understand through your answers how many vendors company you are working on, how many multiple different companies are there with your project. So how you are able to communicate with different value streams are there. Okay, so through that they are able to understand this project will be there. This project will be very big project because if you are asking me the complexity of how to know that the project is very complex or not, that is purely a project management thing. So PM team will be explaining it how big budget is there and how many staff should be required to complete this project. So in that way, they can able to show the matrices. Yeah, this is a very big project and this is a very big budget project also there. So the complexities should be there. So yeah.
Okay. So is it an interview if I ask you that, okay, can you brief me about the Scrum processes that you are following in your current organization or in
Okay.
your current project?
Okay. So through that, the interviewer is actually interested whether you are follow the all the Scrum rules or not. For example, I'm saying as a Scrum master, you should be you should train your team to they should be follow the daily Scrum, all the events, the daily Scrums they should be attend, and the sprint review, sprint retrospective, sprint planning, everything, all the four things should be happen. And another thing they'll be going to ask you whether you are follow the time boxing or not. Okay, time boxing means every event should have a time limit. For example, daily scrum is a 15 minutes time. So whether are you able to complete that daily call within 15 minutes or it will be taking more than 15 minutes? Or if you are saying it will be taking more than 15 minutes, so why it will be taking 15 minutes? So try to understand it and how you are how follow the scrum means what the process you are using so that it will be going to complete within that 15 minutes duration of time box. Or they are asking you, you're completing the sprint planning, you are saying it will be taking me 2 days. So they try to understand how complex the things are like that. You are taking 2 days to complete that particular sprint. And also this interview try to asking you, what is your, how many days or how, for example, they're saying that what is the duration of your sprint? It is taking 2 weeks or 3 weeks duration or a 4 weeks duration of your sprint. So if you're saying we are follow up for a 3 week sprint, then they'll be asking you why you are taking a short time, short your sprint is very short.
Mhm.
So they try to understand it that way. Because uh, when someone is asking me, you are using a 2 week sprint. Why? What is the benefit of that 2 week sprint? So the interviews try to understand your answer with from that. Yeah.
If I pause you for a moment, what is a sprint for our viewers?
Okay. So in a Scrum, we there is each duration of a okay. So uh, in Scrum framework, we are taking a duration of time. Within that duration time, we'll need to complete that whatever specific user story or specific task we are chosen to or feature we try to complete within that particular time. For example, I'm saying in the previous just your this questions, I'm saying I am using a 15 days or 2 weeks sprint, okay, or 3 weeks sprint means we have for 14 to 15 days time is there. So within that particular sprint, we're going to choose particular feature. This is our target to complete that feature. For complete that feature, we have some subtasks are there. We are planning to complete it. So during the sprint planning, we are completing that particular of user stories. Okay, this is just, if you are asking me the what is the sprint means, sprint is a time limit for us. Within that particular time limit, we're going to complete it, and in that time limit we're going to complete all the events. Like the daily scrum is a everyday activity. Sprint planning is one time activity before starting that particular sprint, or the first day of the sprint we need to be discussed what we're going to complete within this 15 days or 14 days. The second is the retrospective going to be happened there. So we're going to discuss what going well and what is the challenge we are facing. The next time how we're going to be overcome that one. And the reviews are there. Reviews means whatever we have completed, we're going to show a demo to the product owner. So everything, all the events going to be completed within that particular sprint.
Uh-huh. So normally, uh, like you said before that, you are two projects parallelly handling in your organization. Let's say, so when an interview asks this question, how you manage like two projects, and I believe there will be multiple sprints within that two project. Like one project might be having 15 sprints, a second project would be having 5 sprints. So
Okay.
how you manage that?
Okay. So as I mentioned in the starting, so my both the project have starting days is different. So it will be easy for me to uh, do the sprint planning for that particular project. Okay. So it will not going to be hamper me or collide. Both are not in the same sprint start date. Okay. So that's why it will be easy for me to manage this thing. Another things is there. So we have some different things are refinement activities are there, product backlogs are there. Okay. So there is a two different terms are coming, product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay. So if you are proactive as a Scrum Master, your role is you need to be communicate with the product owner frequently to refine your product backlog, because in the starting of the project we do the sprint zero activities. Okay, in the sprint zero
Mhm.
activities we discussed everything, upcoming features and all the stuff. Okay, the status and all the everything. Okay, so we created a skeleton of all the user stories on the what the main user story will going to be work on in the subsequent time. If it is a big project, so that if they are using the safe agile framework, naturally they do the PI planning. Okay, but they also do the end to end, as you mentioned, like you are working with a one project and they plan 30 sprint. Okay, so that discussion happened during the sprint zero activities. So the plan, yeah, will going to be completed within the 6 months or 1 year duration, and we have a this much number of sprints should be there. So they created skeleton of user stories for all the sprints. So that should be, you can say that is a product backlog is already ready. So
Mhm.
your job with the product owner to refine that backlog so that it will be ready for the next sprint to the team. Mm.
Okay. Can you give bit more detail about what is the product backlog that you say? Like in sprint 0, 1, 2, 3, you are preparing basically the plan. And what is the product backlog in each sprint?
Okay. So there is a two term as I mentioned, product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay.
Right.
Product backlog is like that. It will everything those are not moving to sprint. Okay. So means it will be there in our bucket, but still we are not planning anything to whether it will be moved to the sprint or not. Okay. So that is called product backlog. And sprint backlog means whatever the things are there in your sprint, and you are not started working it because team is choosing one by one task, right? So whatever we choose in our sprint backlog means everything is planning for this sprint.
Okay. So as a Scrum Master, okay, as per you, what are the key skills that is required?
Okay, as a Scrum Master, you should know how to communicate with your team and how
Mhm.
to communicate with your
Better communicative person. Mm.
better communication. Okay, and you should be a follower of his agile principles. That means you should be train your team cross-functional. Okay, so means
Mhm.
you know how to motivate your team. Second is motivation. How you can able to
Right.
motivate your team to follow the principles and follow the process. That is the second thing. And another
Mhm.
thing is conflict resolution. You know how to resolve the conflict. So
I
that is
want to
another
ask that. Yeah.
yeah. And
So
another
for
thing.
no, you said the conflict resolution. I remember like the Scrum people, like Scrum people. Let's say Scrum people will say that okay, you follow this agile principle. Now, those who are the developers or uh, uh, those who are doing the functional consultants, they will say no, this is very tedious practice and this schooling method we will not be able to follow. Now in this kind of situation as a Scrum Master, how you actually resolve those conflicts,
Okay,
because
so
in organization that is very much important.
yeah, this is happening actually in every time. So means in that time you should be okay for whatever the functional consultant is mentioning. The developer they don't know the high level things. Okay, they just started with their fresher career in that. So they think whatever they are doing that is the correct. And the functional team, the functional leads are there. They have more experience actually. So then they are able to predict what should be we need to be do and what the future problem will be going to upcoming problems should be there. Okay, and they're more experienced, and that's the only difference. The developers and the leads, that's the only difference is experience. So you need to be convey the same thing. What the issue should be happening in the future? Why they are saying we need this activity, the quelling period or not? Okay, so then more communication, and you try to understand. They are maybe sometimes they are okay. I mean they are the right person. I mean whatever they are mentioning that is should be right. The developer, but you should understand what is their perspective, what they try to convey it, whether both the functional lead or the developer or the product owner. It will be maybe
Mhm.
sometimes the conflict will be there with the product owner because what I saw sometimes the architect is mentioned we need to implement these things, okay, and it will in the middle of the project or end of the project. Okay, so and the team already developed everything, and if he'll be going to change everything, right? It need around 2 to 3 days continuously work on it and changes everything in that particular code. Okay, so the developer is naturally going to hesitate to do this. Why you are not giving me the
Absolutely. Yes.
initial days? Why you are saying now to me? That is the beauty of agile. Okay, anytime the change is going to be appear, and you need to be addressed that one. So for that, you need to be the more thing is what I understand. You need to be more communicate with the team and how good bond you have with your developer and with your functional lead or with the product owner. So everyone should
Mhm.
be understand this. So this is the point they are tried to uh, convey me.
Right,
This
right. Okay.
yeah,
And
purely conversation.
so it's purely a persona, I would say, that how you resolving the conflicts and you apply bit of Scrum principles within your persona to resolve the conflicts. Okay. And what are the key metrics that you use as a Scrum Master?
Okay. Everyone is follow up on velocity chart, right?
Mm.
And
What is
also the
velocity chart?
velocity means how much work you are complete within that particular sprint and how much you are actually planning to complete because we have a sprint uh, uh, we calculate our each user story with some points, okay, of whether that is a complex one, is a medium one, uh, or that is a simple one, okay. So so for example, in that particular sprint, we planned around 30 number of points. We try to complete within that particular sprint, okay. But we are not able to achieve that one. So the velocity, we calculate the velocity for not for a particular sprint, but the three different sprint. Okay, what is our velocity? How much task we are able to complete with that particular sprint, and how much is spillover task? Okay, it will be able to, if someone is asking you what is your velocity, means they try to understand whether whatever the user study you are committed in that particular sprint, are you able to uh, are you able to achieve that goal or not? Okay, so for that one, the velocity is that is automatically generated things. If you go to the Azure DevOps, so it will be there automatically. How much task you planned and how much task you moved to the next sprint, it will be going to be reflected in that particular graph. And also the people are using burn down chart or burn up chart. Okay, burn down
Hmm.
chart is how much you completed, how much is pending with your team for particular sprint. So it will be creating the burn down chart. So and also what I manually going to be created like capacity because when we plan the sprint, we also ask the team whether you have any planned leave or unplanned leave. Okay, that is also affect the particular deliverable. So how much we or sometimes the developer during the sprint planning, developer is saying yes, I'm going to be achieve this user story, four number of user story, I'm going to be achieve that one, but they are not able to achieve it. They do the overcommitting. Okay, so I just created the graph for the chart for my team. You are these are the person who committed during a sprint planning. They'll be going to achieve this much of number of tasks, but end of the sprint and they are not able to achieve it. So they overcommitted the sprint or task. Okay, and this is not a one sprint activity. So if you collect data for 3 to 5 sprint, so it will be clear pictures coming out with that matrices. Like yes, my team is committing more but delivering less. So you try to
Hmm.
do a analysis with your YY analysis. Why my team is struggling with that one? Whether they don't clear the user story, or they don't have all the requirements for that particular task, or they just haphazardly saying yes, we will be able to complete it. So you need to be do your YY analysis. Okay, so you can able to understand it. So another thing I'm doing the bug analysis. Okay, how many, because in our team we have a three sprint. After three sprint we have a one integration sprint is there. Okay, so it's three sprint, how many bugs are coming for us, okay, and how many things we are able to address it. And when I compare with my integration sprint, because integration sprint testing going to be happen by the tester, the other vendor company, they will be going to do that one. Okay, how many bugs they are able to find out during the integration testing. Okay, so I just try to compare how much we are finding out the bugs during our three sprint and how much bugs they are able to find out. Okay, and also I do a YY analysis of that. Yes, why means we are not doing the our unit testing properly, that's why, or what is the issue? Maybe there is some issues are there with the data availability. Okay, because people are doing the testing with some dummy data. When the actual data are coming, that behavior is something different. Okay, so I try to understand why this issue is coming, so that it will be easy for the next time. So as I mentioned, I just forgot to capacity also. Team is saying they have the capacity of 30 hour or 40 hours, their availability, but in the end of the sprint, that is 20 hour or something like that, because of some emergency or something will be there. The unplanned leaves are more from team side. That's why we are not able to achieve it. So the purpose of all this collecting all the data, or all the creating the matrices are there to efficient your team. So sometimes what happened in my experience, the developers are saying this is not my job. I am not an expert of UI part, and you are saying I need to complete that particular task. I am a good in back-end part. I am not in front-end part. So why you are assigning me this task? Okay. So,
Mhm.
but Scrum is saying your team should be cross-functional. It shouldn't be like a, your team should be full stack developer. Okay, they should not be like a expert in
Everyone need to be full stack
everything.
developer.
Okay, so your job is to be make your team is a cross-functional team or a full stack developer, so they can able to address, because sometimes someone will be going to be any personal issue or something. So these are the scenarios I just.
Okay, so I think there are a lot of metrics you explained: burn down chart, burn up chart, why analysis, the capacity analysis, and what are the early first one you said? Uh,
I'm saying the commitment means how much you
Commit,
committed
yeah,
and how
over
much
commitment, under commitment.
commitment.
Yeah, so how? Okay, that is, I think, a very good uh, points. I mean, very good insights for viewers to actually drill down at the necessary metrics that need to be followed as a Scrum Master. Now, what is the score creep? If I ask
Okay.
you,
Scope creep. Sorry, scope creep is like the how much. Okay, so the new requirements are coming to our team. Okay, so we don't know whether that is actually required. We need to be addressed it or not. Okay, so means you can say whatever is committed, it will be, for example, in the sprint we committed around, we're going to complete around 10 to 15 user stories. Okay, within that period of time. But in the meantime, there is lot of scopes are coming to need to be addressed. That is very important, and you need to, because POs are every time the POs are saying we need to be completed within this time frame. But already we committed, we're going to be complete that much of task. But the scopes are going to be increased day by day. So, for example, for the first sprint, you are saying no, we're going to be committed this sprint. We are not able to complete within this sprint, so we're going to be completed with the next sprint. Okay, but the emergency or the high priority of the task is very high, and it will be very. This is not one or two things. Maybe it will be 5 to 6 user story going to be add on in your bucket. Okay, so the scope, this is called scope creep. Okay, so how to handle that one? You need to be monitor it. You need to be going to be know how much complexity it should be, whether that is a very high that should be implemented in this sprint or going to be subsequent sprint, because sometimes it is not required actually. Some user stories the
mhm,
requirements are coming, but that is immature in the nature, and also the availability, all the means you can say the all the requirements are not clear. So it should be decided whether that is required for my team or not, or I need more details from the PO or the SME. So it needs to be judged in that way. So the only solution for this handling the scope creep is you need to be follow up the things, and you need to monitor the things.
okay, so we need to monitor it more diligently. Okay, so like how you meet the requirements with the user stories? How can you assure? Do you follow any kind of strategy there?
Okay, so any user story when will be decided to with the discussion when I discuss with my product owner or SME, at the time we decided that this a new task is coming to us, so we need a user story for that one, because there is a different structure. The spike is also there. We are creating some spike to follow up with the product owner or SME to gather all the requirements. Whether, because when you create a user story, that should be uh, that should be follow the definition of done. You have all the requirements, you have all everything, all the requirements should be with you. Then only you're going to start that one. Okay. So so for initial level, we just create a spike to track that one, to gather all the requirements from the from business side. Okay. So once it will be there, we are oh, I just follow the invest criteria. Invest, INVIEST. Okay, invest criteria means whether that user story going to be estimable, whether that is a going to be uh, uh, we are able to going to be budgetable, or it will be going to be all the things are going to be available with us, like um, we can able to add the value in that particular user story. So so every point you need to be understand. If you really fulfill that one, then the user story is good to for the product backlog. Okay, you can add
Mhm.
that user story in your product backlog for the subsequent sprint. Okay, so in that way, I'm just managing with the particular user story.
And how you deal with difficult situations over here? And you have multiple stakeholders like customer, you have for consultants, you have the product owners, and there must be a situation, or there will be a situation where no one knows, or no one wants to hear anyone.
Okay, in that case, everyone is listened to the product owner. So the final authority is the product
Scrum
owner.
Master rule.
Yes. So if any conflicts are coming, for example, the SME is saying, no, this is not the right, the architect is, your architecture is from your company, not from the business side. So he's saying, no, this should be the right thing. We need to be do it. But your leads are saying, no, this is not the right way to address this problem, or something is there. Okay, and it is a very high thing to complete it, high priority task we need to be completed at that time. The only person who will be going to be decision maker, that is the product owner. So he can decide whether that is the right way or not. Okay, so if any conflicts are coming, so as a scrum master, my role is the facilitator. I am not a decision maker. So you are not going to be decide or overjudge the things. This is the right or wrong. So you will be a facilitator. You're going to collect everything and come to the point of the product owner, and he'll be going to decide, because
And product owner is the last
last.
man in the arena to
Yes,
decide.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Over to you. You were saying something.
Yeah, I'm saying the if you go come to the rule book also in the Scrum rules, so he's the person who can able to dilute the sprint.
Uh-huh.
So he can able to call. So he is the master. So he's the
Okay.
main person
Oh,
in the team.
it's the master. Okay. And do you can you give it a sort of example, like what is the risk management, and how do you handle it? And is there any metric, or is there any way you track those preventive detective methods to avoid the risk?
Okay, risk management. If I'll be going to say, as a program level, the PMO teams are actually follow up with the risk matrices. They uh, they they created the through tracking tools. They are actually because all the teams those are there, they are tracking everything with the Power BI or the Tableau, all the visualization tools. Okay, so in that visualization tool, it will be easily displayed to the program level that how much user story everyone is committed during particular PI or particular sprint, and how much they are not able, they are able deliverable and they are not able to deliverable. Okay, and there is a everyone actually, when in your particular mind team, I'm not able to complete around 10 to 15 tasks. So okay, you need to be justify your point why your team is not able to complete it, whether that is the dependencies of the team, whether your team is not able to review properly, or they need more time to complete the review, or any dependencies, other value streams you need to be mentioned. Yeah, my dependencies is the XYZ team, or whether you are communicating with them or still they are not able to reply back. So the question now come to their team, why you are not able to answer to the team, why this is happening, means you need to be properly justify the thing. Yeah, this is the reason we are not able to complete these things. Okay, and if whatever the justification you are saying, your product owner also agree with that justification. It's not like that you're saying XY, my team is have health issues, or he's going to be take leave or marriage or upset or anything. That is not the point to justify. You need to be justify the proper justification. And
Marriage is not a
if
justification at
yeah,
all.
correct. So whatever the risk should be there, what I observe in my team or in the PMO level, they track everything. They track with the tools, with the Power BI tools or the Tableau tools, visualization tools. Everything will be displayed, and during the Scrum or during your connection with your lead, they every time they are discussing how much progress with you and what is your dependence with the other team. So risk management is purely based upon the tracking. So
Mhm.
you can able to handle this thing. There is a lot of theories are there. You will be do this thing, that thing. Theoretical things are there, but what I understand in my experience from last couple of years, so through tracking, you can able to resolve all the risks. Not resolve the risk, you have the proper justification to give the program level, because what I saw, we are committed 30 sprint to complete the particular project, but we need more 6 sprint to complete that one. So in the program
Mhm.
level, they justify it. These are the requirement we get from the business side. We are getting very late. So or these are the challenges we are facing from other team to complete that one. So then only they'll be going to approve with the proper justification, because whatever sprint going to be added, the financial things going to be increased for the business side also. The
Right.
budget and everything going to be increased. So it needs to be justified. So yeah.
Okay. So, like what you're saying is that in brief, you will be using the tools, and that tools you will be tracking all those user stories or events. So necessary any necessary flags, red flags like overcommitment, undercommitment, that will be easily tracked, and you just to have a justification for all those kind of events. So, well, that's pretty much what we have, viewers. And I know this interview session, if I contact with Suvendu, and it will be, it will go, we will have a lot of things in our plate, and it will keep on going stuff. So if you guys have anything, if you want to have a mock interview, if you want to do a mock interview with Suvendu, he's he's the finest expert we have. So if you want to do a mock interview to it, do let us know, or do comment us in our channel as well. So Suvendu, thank you very much. Any last comments you want to give to anything that you want to say, or your blogs, etc.?
Okay, so last comment for the interview, what I'm try to say, in this agile way of working, no answers are correct and nothing is correct or wrong. Everything is correct with your perspective. So, but you need to be justified with your answers. This is the correct one. So
Okay, yeah,
don't because everyone have the different way of approach to the problem. So that's why this is vary from person to person.
that's why
So
this will vary from person to person, and there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. Every answer is correct. Every answer is, if you are able to justify with the answer as well. So, well, that's a very good note at the end. And thank you, Suvendu, for giving a lot of insights today, and wish you a very happy Diwali to you and your family.
thank
Thank you.
you and same to you.